Hello everybody and welcome back to Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then Ducky tried his best to run away from him. But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping, and Ducky being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. No. I know what the problem is. The victim got up and tried to run away. And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeney, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I Mr. Judge?
Of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Fay, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
The truth is, Feeney pushed him twice.
I guess tell me about it.
Miss Hawthorne, previously in your testimony you said the following. Actually, I didn't see the moment you pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. I wanted to protect Feeney.
So that's why you basically lied to the court?
I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge.
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me?
Of course he won't. What you did is called perjury. Oh, come now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this one time. But please be careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Not at all. The judge better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl.
You're saying you actually saw the victim get pushed into the electrical pole. I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be. Oh, really? But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he sounds like a very dangerous individual indeed. He's harmless.
He tried his best to run away? So let me get this straight. You were happily listening to music on your headphones while you watched the scene unfold?
Miss Fay, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness.
I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on.
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I wished the best for them both, and that they would each give their fight their all.
That's very sweet of you to be so supportive. And what happened after that?
Feeney caught up from behind, crashing behind.
That doesn't sound quite right.
There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket. Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back of his leather jacket?
Well, no, there weren't.
Madam Fay, am I safe to say you listened a little more carefully? I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeney wouldn't leave any prints behind in that case, would he?
Ugh. It all occurred in less than a minute? Yeah, whatever you say, girl.
That's enough, witness. I'm afraid I don't understand. She sounds like she should have a country accent. Probably a bit too late to change her voice. You will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture? Oh, that medicine. That's the one Feeney likes to take for his cold.
It's not the medicine I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It's not at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m. Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay.
My point is this. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage? 2:55.
Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear.
It was 2:55. Yep.
Yeah, you caught on to that, didn't you? Would you care to explain this to the court, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne?
What exactly happened in this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this interval that the real murderer killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order. What is this? This is nonsense. The real murderer?
She kind of sounds like Franziska. Even if you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for.
Then who was it? Who else are you saying could have done it?
There's only one person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene. Was there a window of opportunity for the real killer?
Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as the real killer?
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor.
We are ready. Very well. But remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. Think very carefully before you speak. Oh no, I know who it is. I got this. This is a real killer? See ya, Dahlia. It could only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. Ugh. How could you? The defense is grasping at straws. 10 minutes passed between the time the cable was broken and the time of the electrocution. What exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on as they fought? I find it hard to believe that you didn't even lift a finger to stop the man dearest to you. Order, order! Miss Faye! What? That is to say, Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness the two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed the victim and subsequently left the scene, it was you who pushed Mr. Swallow to his death by your very own hands. How can you say something so mean, Madame Faye? I didn't do anything. Miss Faye, this is a very serious charge you're... Oh, hold it! Your Honor! Please, I have something I want to say. You! What is it? Please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the? Are you daft? You're totally wrong, Miss Faye. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that. Mr. Wright, get back in your seat. Bailiff, grab that man. Ah! Achoo. Leave my Dolly alone! That boy. He's got himself way over his head. Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. Yeah, I forgot you left, to be honest. You seem to have arrived at just the nick of time. I found the police report on that incident in your newspaper clipping. Report on the incident 9 months ago. Can I actually, read that, maybe? I can. Date time, August 27th. Diego Armando. Occupation lawyer. Suspect Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh. Armando ingested poison while interviewing the suspect regarding the case. Traces of poison were found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the vicinity or on the suspect's person. It is unclear how the poison entered the victim's coffee cup. You'd better take a good look at it. It, details how you came to lose your boyfriend. Oh. Now then, the defense has made a very serious accusation. Mr. Payne, what do you have to say about this? Well, really, Your Honor. That is May I interrupt you for just a moment, Mr. Prosecutor? Don't you worry, my dear. I have the situation well in hand. That is go right ahead. Madame Faye, are you seriously accusing me of killing my sweet Dougie? Yes, I am. Not only am I saying you murdered Doug Swallow, but you also tried to pin the whole thing on your current lover, Phoenix Wright. I told you that you should let me handle this. Weep. Yeah, cry. Sorry. Please go ahead. How can you say that? I'm absolutely devoted to my dear Feeny. The notion that I would try to frame him is ludicrous. This is all just too much for poor little me to bear. I believe the girl is trying to ask what on earth her motive would be. The answer to that lies somewhere in this police report. It must. 8 months ago, an incident occurred in the basement cafeteria of this building. And then, that same day, the two of them accidentally meet. Your Honor, the defense requests further testimony from Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. Further testimony? What about? About the events of the day when she first met the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What could that possibly have to do with this case? The witness claims that she has no reason to frame the defendant, am I correct? Well, I have evidence to suggest that she, in fact, has a good reason. A very good reason. Very well, then. The court grants the defense's request. Young lady, would you mind staying on just a bit longer? Of course not, Mr. Judge. Get ready for the battle of your life, Dahlia Hawthorne. How I Met My Feeny. Oh, here we go. This is much more intense. I first met my darling Feeny 8 months ago. It's like we were destined to meet in this very courthouse's basement reading room.
The moment our eyes met, my heart skipped a beat. We've been going out ever since that fateful day. We're so lovey-wovey, we literally make people sick. It's just jealousy, I think.
Mr. Wright, do that again and you will be held in contempt of court.
And now we enter the final act of our little drama.
As we used to say in the days of my youth, go get her.
Really. So until that time, you had been dating Doug Swallow? Yes, I'm a real fool, I know. I think my emotions changed so quickly. I'm ashamed of myself.
No, not at all. Look at me, I'm infamous for changing my mind. My critics have even taken me to call... my critics have even taken to call me Judge Fickle.
Maybe you should look for a different line of work.
Despite that, however, he always hands down the correct judgment. That's why some people also call him the Great Judgini.
Anyone ever call him that? I've heard people call him the Fickle Judge. I think it was in, like, the second game. It's like we're destined to meet. Why do you say that? The courthouse reading room? That's a strange place to meet the love of your life. That's not true, Madame Faye. After all, Feeny was not only an art student, but he was also planning on becoming a lawyer. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about you, Miss Hawthorne. What was a literature student like you doing in a courthouse reading room? This line of questioning is a waste of time. This has nothing to do with our murder case.
Miss Faye, I'm warning you, if this has nothing to do with Mr. Swallow's case.
I have to remember the judge is on Dahlia's side. I better tread carefully. Wait and see? Nah, screw it, let's press. Probably could have saved. Your Honor, if you'll allow me some latitude, I think I can establish relevance. Please ask her to continue on with the testimony. Very well.
Young lady, I've got a simple question for you. What were you doing downstairs in the courthouse reading room?
If it pleases Your Honor, the answer is simply this. I had come to the courthouse to do some research for a paper I was writing. What were you writing? You're writing a paper? On what? On the relationship between modern Senryu poetry and the criminal underworld.
Oh, that sounds like a fascinating research idea.
It's also really weird. Am I getting old? Now I've even forgot what I've forgotten. Again with the midlife crisis stuff?
Mia, why did that girl really come to this courthouse? Isn't that what you wanted to know? And speaking of forgetting things, you haven't forgotten the police report, have you? I went through a lot of trouble to get it, my dear, so be sure to read it carefully. I already did.
Okay, your heart skipped a beat. Tell me about that. So what was it about Mr. Wright that made your heart malfunction like that? In my personal opinion, he just looked like a typical snotty-nosed college brat. Dang, Mia. Perhaps a woman your age, but to me, how old even is Mia? Oh, you can't even see. Wasn't she, like, 25? But to me, Feeny is handsome. Perhaps to you, Miss Hawthorne. But to the rest of the planet, he's a dime a dozen. Jesus, Mia. Love is a mysterious thing, and I object to this line of questioning. If I were to look at my wife, for example, you might all be shocked. Oh, if you were.
You tell him the truth. It was truly shocking.
Beautiful mushroom growing tall in the darkness. It comes from cow dung. That's the poem that best describes how I feel about my Feeny.
What a poem.
So what does that even mean? We've been going at her since that fateful day. Were there any bad feelings between you and Mr. Swallow? No, not at all. We parted on very good terms. But that can't be. Our investigation also shows that it was a clean breakup. Are you sure? Yes, it seems that they both wanted it that way. So the victim wanted to break up with her? Press further. So you're saying that Mr. Swallow also wanted to break up with you? Well, you see... What a cruel thing to ask a lovely young lady like this. By the way, I've never once considered leaving my wife. No one cares, Mr. Payne. She didn't deny it. That must mean Doug Swallow must have seen through her little acts. He must have gotten a glimpse of her true nature.
Listen to me, Mia. That woman is the judge in the palm of her hand, you see. So the only way to discredit her is to find a contradiction in her testimony.
Yeah? Okay. So I want to present this, right?
Or, okay. Maybe the wort. Because it shows that she was in the courtroom for that reason, right? I should probably save. Okay, I guess I'll present the, police report. There we go. Miss Hawthorne, you weren't here because of your research paper, were you? Didn't you actually come here for a much more important reason? What is the meaning of that cocky smile on your face, Miss Fey? 8 months ago, right here in this very courthouse, there was another tragedy. Another tragedy? Do you mean the incident in which an attorney was poisoned? The name of the suspect in that incident is listed here in this report. And that name is... Dahlia Hawthorne. What? Dahlia Hawthorne? Yes, the sweetie pie of everyone's eye, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne. She was the prime suspect in the criminal case just 8 months ago. And nobody, like, knew this? Order, order, order! This is unbelievable. Is it true, then? The loveliest rose can hide the cruelest thorn? Miss Fey, that's not fair! You can't slander my witness with an unrelated case. I, Winston Payne, will not allow it. Mr. Prosecutor, I believe I was speaking. Pardon me. Go right ahead. It's true that about 8 months ago, the police expressed some interest in me. Expressed some interest, huh? Mr. Judge, sir, I know I'm under oath, so I'll tell you the absolute truth. I did not commit the crime that occurred during that incident 8 months ago. I see. Okay, I've tied the two crimes together. Now I've just got to stay on the offensive. Well done, Mia. Oh, you really lit a fire in my heart and my buttocks. I can hardly tell you which is more inflamed, my spirit or my hemorrhoids. Thank you, Mr. Grossberg. Alright, yeah, tell us about the poisoning. I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something in the cafeteria that day. I left my seat just for a moment, and that's when it happened. From what I heard, it was a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. So you see, I'm innocent. I wouldn't even know where to get a poison like that. Well, how does that prove your innocence on anything? As you've heard from the witness testimony, she had nothing to do with it. I think the defense is just about out of tricks. Terribly sorry, Mr. Payne. Yeah, so am I. Let me take a look at this real quick. Oh, so it doesn't give me, like, any discreet information on the poison. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Payne, but I'm afraid the defense has many more tricks up its sleeve today. And I'll be sure to show them to you before the end of this cross-examination. What the? Why does the defense suddenly feel stronger? Mia, you're going with the true Laura Zora, my dear. That proud posture and self-confidence. Absolutely smashing. Don't you usually wear green? I met the lawyer who was poisoned to discuss something. Okay, what did you discuss? What were you talking about with the defense attorney? Well, I'm sorry, but that's confidential. According to the report, you were being interviewed regarding another case? The lawyer that was killed. He said he wanted to talk about an incident I was caught up in when I was younger. Why don't you tell us all about what that incident was? That has absolutely nothing at all to do with this case. It might... Objection sustained. The defense's question is stricken from the record. You get involved in a lot of incidents, don't you, Miss Hawthorne? Well, I guess I was just put under a bad sign. Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you. You're gonna get held in contempt, Phoenix. You heard the man. Now that is true love, young lady. Oh, Feeny. Please. Ugh. Those two are really making me ill. Albeit for decidedly different reasons. How long were you gone? I've already answered all these questions for the police. But if you must know, maybe 10 or 20 minutes? Didn't you not just say you left for like a minute? And where were you during that stretch of time? Using the toilet? What are you saying, Miss Fey? Toilet? My perfect little Dolly doesn't poop. You're the defendant, Miss Fey. Better luck next time. What?! Oh, Feeny. Please. The police have already looked into this whole matter. This line of questioning is nothing but a waste of the court's time. Objection sustained. Miss Hawthorne, please continue your testimony. Ah, Jesus. I'm not gonna be able to say anything, am I? There's a liquid poison that is lethal at just 2 teaspoons. Well, there's nothing saying that that's not true.
About how much liquid is 2 teaspoons?
Well, let me see. My bottle of eye drop says it's half fluid ounce, which is equal to 3 teaspoons. So it's about 2/3 of that amount, huh?
The poison was found in the lawyer's mug of coffee. It must have been after I left the table. Someone must have quietly slipped it in there.
Not only that, I heard it was a very special kind of poison. How special?
A special kind of poison? How so? Well, I heard that it's almost impossible to detect.
Oh? And where would something like that come from?
I'm sorry, all I know is what I overheard the policeman say. They said something about using advanced chemical processes to purify it.
Chemical processes? Well, that's quite... impressive. Most impressive.
The better question is, how did the criminal get something like that?
You're innocent.
Yeah, no, that didn't prove anything. That's the reason they didn't arrest you?
Because no one could show how you could have gotten the poison?
I think that's a good enough reason, Madame Faye.
She's right, and I think we've all had enough of Miss Faye's questions. So in essence, the main reason Miss Hawthorne was never arrested for this crime was because no one could show how she could have obtained the poison?
And all we have to do is find a way to establish if she could have gotten some, right?
Great. Now just how did a lit student get a hold of poison of all things?
I don't know.
The Cold Killer!
God dang it!
I really thought I had something
We
there.
do everything again, because sometimes, like, you have to press something multiple times in order to progress onwards, if I remember correctly, so I might as well just press everything again.
Wait. Okay. Okay, so... I wouldn't even want to get a poison like that. That might be true, but... Let me think. I feel like I'd have to like the Cold Killer X, right? But I don't know. Could it be this? No. I'm just gonna, like, not bother. Reload. Okay. So it would have to be something like this, right? But how do I get to that point where I showed this off? Wait. You could easily get a poison like that. You knew Doug. Pharmacology handles with, like, poisons, right? Yeah. You wouldn't know how to get that kind of poison? I don't believe you.
What?
In fact, you had easy access to that kind of poison, didn't you? At your boyfriend's lab. Boyfriend? You mean the victim, Doug Swallow? That's right. Up until 8 months ago, Miss Hawthorne was dating Mr. Swallow. And if you'll recall, Mr. Swallow was a pharmacology student at Ivy University. Pharmacology? His laboratory contained highly advanced chemistry equipment. In fact, without such equipment, the culprit could never have obtained such a rare and special poison. Oh, hang on. Not quite as intense as the first two versions of Pursuit. But I like it. Well, Miss Hawthorne, it seems you had access to... This could also just be a version specifically used for Mia, who knows. It seems you had access to such poison after all.
And then, it was a matter of slipping it into the victim's coffee when he wasn't looking. The only person who could have done that was the one sitting at his very table. You!
Order, order, order. Could it be?
That's nothing but a baseless May I say something, Madame Faye?
What is it, Miss Hawthorne?
The amount of poison in the coffee was 2 teaspoons, correct? In order to carry that much liquid, you would need some kind of container.
Well, yes, that's true.
I was searched immediately after the incident took place.
Quite true. In fact, the entire courthouse was turned upside down.
But they didn't find a suspicious container anywhere, did they?
It's because you gave it to Phoenix!
They didn't mention that in the report.
Well, you could have easily gotten rid of something that small.
Excuse me, madam, but this is a court of law. If you're saying I threw the poison container away, I think you need to show some kind of proof.
Proof? You're kinda good with that. Provide some evidence or else to just allow this line of questioning, Miss Faye. Unless we can come up with some evidence, we're going to lose this lead.
The police conducted a full-body search of Dahlia and of the entire courthouse. And yet the container holding the poison disappeared right after the crime occurred.
If we're going to accuse the young lady of committing the murder, then where is the container the poison was carried in? What happened to it? Oh.
You were forced to get rid of the container in a hurry, weren't you? And that's why you passed it on to someone that had nothing to do with the case. Someone that you knew wouldn't be searched.
Who was this person?
Mr. Phoenix Wright, of course.
So the defendant was his witness's accomplice?
Of course not. She gave the poison to him, disguised as a present. What? But that's...
That is a charming little necklace. Is this a little bottle? It's really quite cute. So what about it? What does it mean, Miss Faye?
The date the witness met and fell for Mr. Phoenix Wright was 8 months ago. August 27th, the very same day as the poisoning incident. Under the pretense of love, the witness gave my client a present. All for the purpose of hiding the one piece of evidence that would give her away.
What? Are you saying there's a deadly poison in here?
No, there's no longer any poison in that bottle. However, I'm certain if the crime lab were to analyze it, they would find a trace amount.
Oh yeah, freak out. Order! Order in the court. Objection! Yeah, there we go, Phoenix. On behalf of Dolly, I object. Mr. Wright, control yourself. I won't let you bully her like this. Mr. Wright, I thought I told you to stay in your seat.
Mr. Wright,
why?
Why are you going through so much trouble to protect her?
Why? Because I'm madly in love with her. Shots. Madly in love? I haven't heard anyone say that in a long time.
Mr. Wright, have you ever thought about this? Why exactly would a woman like Dahlia Hawthorne want to date you anyway?
Jesus, Mia.
Well, I guess you must be madly in love with me, too. Mr. Wright, please, open your eyes. At this point in the trial, I think it should be obvious to everyone. The real reason that Dahlia Hawthorne is dating you is because of that necklace, to keep you quiet. Naturally, it's to keep you quiet. What? Keep me quiet? Keep me quiet about what? Well,
seems like the rest of us don't quite understand you, Miss Faye. Nor do we understand what the vile secret that Miss Hawthorne holds is.
It's because there's no secret, I tell ya.
Ugh, how dense can you be?
Miss Faye, please take it over and try again.
Okay, cool.
Because of that necklace. Dahlia Hawthorne was not, and is not, madly in love with you. The only thing she's after is that bottle necklace you love to wear around your neck. My necklace? Back in the waiting room, you said it yourself. Yeah, but she's so shy. Every time I see her, she always says the same thing to me. Please give it back now. Yeah, what a strange girl asking for a present back. For Dahlia Hawthorne, that necklace is irrefutable evidence of her crime. That's why she absolutely had to get it back. You're lying. But you never gave it back to her. And to make things worse for her, you insisted on showing it to everyone you meet. That's why she... I don't believe you. No! That's a lie!
Stop crying. Mia, are you alright? The defendant, he's getting away. Mia, are you alright? Yes, I think so. Boy, he went completely insane. Where's Mr. Wright? It looks like the bailiff caught him, so he should be back soon enough. Thank goodness. Oh no. What is it? The bottle necklace. Miss Hawthorne's present. It's gone. What? That's terrible. Mr. Wright must have grabbed it when he slammed into me. Foolish boy. That's the only thing that could have saved him. What blazes are we supposed to do now? Good question. Mr. Wright, this sort of behavior is unprecedented in the history of this court. I'm sorry. I'm afraid that your apology is not enough. Mr. Wright, what did you do with the bottle necklace? Forgive me. I'm sorry. It's okay. Just give it back. Just give back the necklace. I ate it. What? What? You ate it? It was too big to swallow, so I had to chew it into little bits first. But yeah. Ugh. If it's got poison, you know you're probably dead. What is he doing now? Your Honor, you've got to stop the trial. Mr. Wright, are you feeling okay? Does your stomach hurt? That bottle you swallowed may have some poison left in it. It seems the defendant has proven the prosecution's case for us. Clearly that bottle did not contain a deadly poison. How can you be so sure? I think that's obvious. As you can see, the defendant is still very much alive. As for the poison, more like a fledgling defense attorney's overactive imagination. So it would seem. No! There must be some mistake! The bottle must not have had any poison left in it. Either that, or the poison must have lost its potency. There. It's alright, rookie. Trusting your client is the most notable thing a defense attorney can do. And it's heartwarming to see that you place this much faith in Mr. Wright. But that's how it is for us on the prosecution side, too. For example, I would trust a witness, Miss Hawthorne, with my very life. Which is why I could state that your assessment of her is completely wrong. That's enough. Unfortunately, Miss Fey, I cannot accept your explanation of these events. But why? This may be impossible for a beginner like you to understand. But in a court of law, evidence is everything. Ugh. Even after I proved so much, is she going to get away with everything? Well, now the suspicion surrounding Miss Hawthorne has been cleared up. No, it hasn't! Mr. Wright? I'm sorry, Miss Fey. It's totally slipped my mind. I'm really sorry. I know you believed in me, and I feel like I really let you down. Mr. Wright, what are you trying to say? There's something I forgot to tell you. What is it? That day, the day I met Doug Swallow. Yeah, you shouldn't see her anymore. I've seen this before. Someone stole some poison from our lab. Oh. Poison? The same thing happened 8 months ago. A drug sample was stolen. She came to the lab that time, too. It could only have been her. That girl's a thief. Stop it! And then just push. Is it true? Did he really say that? That's ridiculous. There's one more thing. After I pushed him that day, I got worried and came back to have a look. She was there. Dolly was right there. She was crouched down next to him. What? She told me not to ever tell anyone about it, but... I'm sorry, Dolly. Your Honor, this is... The defendant is... Miss Fey. You tell them. Dolly didn't do it. She's innocent. So Dahlia stole poison 8 months ago too, huh? If you put that together with Mr. Wright's testimony, there's only one possible conclusion. The defense believes that Miss Dahlia Hawthorne stole some poison on the night before she killed Doug Swallow. The night before? Naturally, her motive for stealing it was to kill someone. Miss Faye, if you're so certain of your theory, then let me ask you this. Mia, this is your last chance. Think carefully now, yeah? There's something that she desperately wanted to get back. Therefore, exactly who is Miss Dahlia Hawthorne planning to kill? Doug? Maybe Phoenix? It's one of those two. Phoenix has a cold? That wouldn't have anything to do with poison, right? It was Doug. She was crying about it because she killed the wrong person on accident, so she wanted to kill Phoenix? There was only one person standing squarely in Miss Dahlia Hawthorne's way. That person was... Mr. Phoenix Wright. Me? That's preposterous. After all, it was Doug Swallow that was murdered. Well, it's true that that was how things worked out. But let's remember that Mr. Swallow died of electrocution, not poison. That person that Miss Hawthorne was planning to poison was in fact, excuse me, you, Phoenix Wright. There's no one else it could be. But how could that be? I thought Mr. Wright and Miss Hawthorne were in love. Poor Mr. Wright. This must be killing him. Hang in there. I'll bring her to justice, I swear it. As I said before, the only thing Miss Hawthorne truly cared about was the one piece of evidence linking her to that incident 8 months ago. That's right. The bottle necklace. That's all she cared about. But even so, why would she go as far as to murder him? 8 months ago, just after the fallout of turning in the basement cafeteria. Dahlia Hawthorne could think of only one thing. How to get rid of the bottle necklace as quickly as possible. No. It can't be. It was a pretty good move she made, too. The evidence was missing for a long time. But there was just one big problem. Although she got him to hide the evidence, Mr. Wright refused to return it to her. Yep, to him the tiny little bottle was a cherished treasure. He even showed it to everyone he met. You mean, that's why she tried to kill Mr. Wright? Correct, Your Honor. It was to retrieve that piece of evidence. That can't be true! Believe it. Feeny, what a joke you are. Oh? Oh! Honestly, how can any woman ever count on you for anything? I even told you time and time again to keep your trap shut about me and that necklace. You disgust me. Miss Hawthorne? It appears that we're nearing the end of this trial. Fine, I'll tell you my plan on making me into a criminal no matter what I say. I tell you plan on it. You are a criminal, Miss Hawthorne. We'll see about that, but first, where's your evidence? It seems your sniveling little crybaby of a client is eating that bottle as a snack. Ugh. Well, Hey, old man, are you senile or something? Why don't you say something instead of sitting with that dumb look on your face? Miss Hawthorne, what's happened to you? Are you really that shocked? Or do you prefer me this way, Mr. Judge? There's absolutely no proof. You treat a voluntary witness like she's a mass murderer. Well, I have nothing more to say. I'll be heading home now if you don't mind. But we're not finished. Fine, then ask this nasty old hag to finish up already. Hold it! Yeah, hold it! Get back here! I can't let her get away this time. Stop, Mia. If you keep on pushing without any evidence, you could pay the ultimate price as a lawyer. The ultimate price? You'd be forced to take off your attorney's badge forever, I'm afraid. No! You better think it over carefully, Miss Faye. Or should I say, Miss Gray. What does that even mean? Well, Miss Faye, can you provide evidence that would establish her guilt once and for all? Can I? Oh, I can read this. Very little information is being disclosed at this time since the victim was just incident as the district courthouse cafeteria said a 19-year-old female college student who was sitting with the victim. If I mess this up here, my career as a lawyer is over. This is true. But to be honest, at this point I don't have any evidence that's well-founded. Even so, I'd rather lose my attorney's badge than let her get away with murder. Your Honor, the defense would like to present proof. If possible. You can't possibly... Stupid woman. It is the opinion of the court that there has already been enough discussion. Therefore, I'll allow only one piece of evidence to be presented. Just one? If you are unable to establish her guilt, then I'm afraid that a very harsh verdict will immediately be handed down on Mr. Wright. I understand, Your Honor. I can just imagine the headlines for tomorrow's newspaper. Up-and-coming lawyer plummets to earth before she gets a chance to soar. She was planning to poison Mr. Wright. If that's the case, then the poison was probably in there. Where's there? Oh, the cold killer. Here it is, Your Honor. The evidence that will prove her guilt once and for all. Cold Killer X. Phoenix Wright's beloved cold medicine. Yeah. Does our rookie defense attorney have a bit of a cold? If I did, I still wouldn't take this cold medicine. After all, it's been poisoned. What? Remember what the defendant said in his testimony. But I lost my bottle of it around lunchtime on the day of the accident. I always eat with Dolly, just the two of us. She was the one who took his bottle of Cold Killer X. Then she poisoned it, knowing that Mr. Wright was going to take some. Now you're really grasping at straws. After all, it was the victim, Doug Swallow, that was holding the medicine. I would like the court to recall the crime that happened here 8 months ago. Where did Miss Hawthorne hide the evidence? What are you talking about? 8 months ago, the poison was hidden in her bottle necklace, which she then gave to someone else for safekeeping. Someone she had accidentally run into the reading room. My client, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yes, that's right. She did the same thing this time as well. After shoving the victim, Mr. Phoenix Wright left the scene of the crime. That is when the murderer, Dahlia Hawthorne, appeared. With her, she was carrying the poison bottle of Cold Killer X. This, of course, was so she could carry out her plan to murder Mr. Wright. I believe she did testify that she was going to meet with the defendant. Yes, she heard that she saw everything that happened that day at the scene of the crime, including what the defendant and victim were arguing about, and the cut electrical cable. That's when she realized, I can't allow Doug Swallow to live. She used the severed electrical cable to silence him forever. Fortunately for her, this is when the problem occurred. Mr. Wright, who she thought had left the scene, came back to check on the victim. And on top of that, because of the power outage, some students showed up as well. It's hardly any wonder that she was, as she put it, in a state of panic. Recall that she was carrying the bottle of poison cold medicine. She must have thought, what if they searched me like they did 8 months ago? 8 months ago? Yes, she disposed of the evidence exactly the same way she did back then. She had someone else to hold it. In this case, Doug Swallow. So what do you guys think? Pretty good theory, yeah? Yeah? Oh, come on now, everyone. Surely you aren't fooled, are you? This stupid woman, she's nothing but a filthy, stinking liar. Right, Mr. Prosecutor? Yes, that's exactly right. It's just pure desperation. I wonder which one of us is the desperate one. So, Miss Hawthorne, this cold medicine, I wonder if you wouldn't mind taking some? Well, Mr. Wright ate that necklace of yours, right? Now it's your turn to prove your innocence. What do you say? If I'm just a filthy, sneaking liar, then there's no need to worry. So come on, show us! I dare you to take some of this medicine right now! Mia Fey! Mia Fey! Oh. Do you think you've won? Well, do you, Miss Mia Fey? That's just fine. For the time being. Victory is yours. For the time being? Well, I have a very long memory, you know. You and I will meet again. I'm certain of it. Well then, Mr. Judge. I'll see you later too, okay? Huh? Oh, why? Yes. I'm gonna go spend a little quality time with the men in blue now. I wish you all the best. Huh. So why did she think we're gonna see each other again? She's long gone to jail now. It's finally all over. And I've been recording for an hour and a half apparently. Oh my god. I refuse to accept this. The defense hasn't shown a scrap of evidence to support their outrageous claim. But even so, your witness seems to have accepted it. I don't care. I'm Winston Payne. I don't believe one word that this rookie lawyer has said. Well then, Mr. Payne, let me ask you this. Yes? Would you care to try this cold medicine? What? Just a little earlier, I could have sworn you said. It's alright, rookie. For example, I would trust you would trust with your life. So, if she's so trustworthy, then I'm sure there couldn't possibly be any poison in here, right? You see, yes. And here comes the backpedal. Come on now, rookie killer. Show this rookie how it's done. How much trust do you really have for this woman? Are you willing to bet your life? Ah, that's a big fat no, isn't it? Yeah. I thought this would happen. Somehow I thought that he would just lose his hair like a freak out. Mr. Payne. About Miss Delia Hawthorne? Yep, I knew it. Yes, Your Honor. I'll file papers for her immediate arrest. Tragic, but not surprising. I knew there was something suspicious about her from the very beginning. No, you didn't. Just admit you were wrong. By the way, Miss Faye? Yes, Your Honor. Was it just me, or did you and Miss Delia Hawthorne seem to know each other? Your Honor, whether we did or not has no bearing on this case. Very well. Mr. Payne? This can't be happening. It's a nightmare. It's like losing to my daughter. It appears Mr. Payne has lost his spirit along with his hair. Does the defendant have anything further to say? It can't be true. My dear Dolly Chu. Very well then. I believe I am ready to pass judgment and bring this trial to an end. This court finds the defendant, Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Let's go, I've beaten my Mia Fey, Ace Attorney. I almost said Ace Detective. This court is adjourned. Mia, you were wonderful in there. Thank you for everything, Mr. Grossberg. During the verdict, I thought my hemorrhoids were going to explode like Mount Vesuvius. What? Mr. Grossberg, do you maybe think you could stop talking about them? That's rather rude. Anyway, this case really made me think. What does it really mean to have a relationship of mutual trust with the client? Perhaps it is we veteran lawyers who have lost sight of this. Hi, Phoenix. Oh, Mr. Wright. Congratulations. Thanks. You know, I was thinking. Go on. The dolly that I saw up there on the witness stand, I don't think that was really her. What? Yeah, the dolly I knew could never have said those kinds of terrible things. Maybe she was like, I don't know, a fake or something. Boy, this poor kid still hasn't got a clue. You need to forget about her, Mr. Wright, for your own sake. Yeah, you're right. That's probably for the best. Also, you need to relax a bit more. Try to grow up a little. But, out of all my friends, everyone says I'm the most grown up. What kind of company does this guy keep? Right now, I'm starting to become a lawyer myself. That's what you keep saying. But I thought you were in the art department. Well, yeah, I am. But there's a friend that I desperately want to help. And if I hurry, then I should still be able to save him in time. Who? I see. Say, Miss Faye, a lawyer is someone who can help people when they're in trouble, right? Mr. Wright, I'm still new at this myself, but I think that's exactly what a lawyer is. Okay, I'm going to do it. I'll study my butt off. I'll become a lawyer for sure. I hope we see each other again someday. Maybe even in court. So I like this trial. It's like a whole origin story for Phoenix. Well, kind of building off his already origin story. It's been 5 years since I was acquitted of all charges. I became a lawyer like I planned and managed to save my friend. But Mia had passed on to a better place. For me, the trial brings up a lot of painful memories. But it also brings up some very precious ones. Memories that I thought would never rise to the surface again. Mia is gone now. But even so, I can hear her in my mind. Phoenix, no matter what, always believe in your client. In a court of law, your greatest weapon is your belief. 5 long years. Something has happened that's made me think back to her words of wisdom. But that is a story for another day. Yep. That's the prosecutor, man. Yeah, save. And that'll be the end of this episode. That was actually a nice trial. I like that I was gonna... Let me try saying that again. I like that you actually play as Mia, for a trial. And I just like that it kind of builds off the origin story of Phoenix a little more. Like, you know, in the first game, we got a little glimpse to a story of how Edgeworth helped him in a class trial, right? And that kind of inspired him to become a lawyer so he could also help people in need, like, that are, like, falsely accused of crimes. And then you have this one, which, like, even further, like, you know, strengthened his resolve to be a lawyer because he, because Mia, right? So yeah, that was actually a really nice trial. Anyway, that'll be the end of this episode. Thank you for watching. If you liked what you saw, then you can subscribe and like, or whatever you want to do. And if you want, you can check out some of my other stuff, in some of the playlists, or just check out my videos. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. So, take care.